Not to mention to Zab Judah himself. Very difficult to fight a guy that you have not seen before, don't know very much about. Take a look at the numbers here. Rangel, the senior of Judah by 5 years. Other than that, very comparable. A little bit of a reach advantage for Judah, but really comparable numbers here. 29 up and 4 down for Rangel, 29 and 1 for Zab Judah. Let's take a look at the rules as we will have throughout the night. No standing 8 count. There will not be a 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved with a bell in any round, and it is only the referee who can stop the fight. The headbutt rule, incidentally, would go to the cards after the 4th round. So, again, as we started to say, Chris, it is a difficult thing, I'm sure, to fight a guy that you really don't know much about. He's not fought here in the United States. You don't know much about the caliber of competition he's fought. How do you study for a guy like this?
You really can't. You just got to train hard, knowing that when you get in the ring, you feel nobody can beat you on that night, and expect to win.
This is a guy, Zab Judah, good speed, good power. He's a guy who will stay on the gas, try to smother his opponent as much as he can. But again, he doesn't know what he's going to get from Jaime Rangel. So when you go out there, do you just try to learn on the job, try to take a round or two, see what the guy brings to the dance?
Yeah, and that's what you do. You know he got 29 wins with 25 knockouts. You know he can punch.
Interesting sidebar to this fight. The last time both men lost was on the same day. It was on November 3rd of 1901 when Judah lost and Jaime Rangel lost. You look at the military. We talked about that we're being seen by the men and women of the United States military in Iraq, and here is a look at Zab Judah. They're looking at us in Iraq, incidentally, at 4 a.m. Zab Judah's a guy who wants to come out here, as we said, get on the gas, do it early, make some noise, and get the crowd involved.
At a point in my life where it's not about winning no more, it's about dominating and looking spectacular. So it's just a win wouldn't be satisfied for me. Like, I want to go out there and look spectacular. I make things happen. I don't wait for things to happen for me. I make them happen. I set openings, you know. I make guys drop their hands. I make guys stumble. I make guys, you know what I mean? So I'm prepared. So come Saturday night, I'm going to set a pace that Bernard Hopkins, Ricardo Mayorga, Hasim Rahman, and the rest of these fighters got to keep up with the pace, or else they're going to look real bad. Trust me. I mean, I done told these guys once, and for the last time, I'm here to steal a show. I'm not only here to win.
Good morning, Iraq. 4 a.m. These guys had to get up early to watch this fight, and you can see some real fans. Couldn't quite hear what the general was saying there, and believe me, it's the only time I've ever ignored a general, I promise. Jaime Rangel at 29 up and 4 down with 25 knockouts. We know he's got some pop. There's no question about that. But as we said, he has fought all his fights either in Colombia or in Venezuela or in Argentina. He has not fought here in the United States. He goes by the nickname El Martillo, which translated means the hammer. So I guess that would be an indication the guy can punch a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to be a dangerous guy.
Comes from a big family, one of 9 kids. His father was a mason, played soccer as a kid. Again, a guy with a very limited amateur experience and a guy who's had to learn on the job, but he did so in a winning way. Jaime Rangel, as we said, 29 up and 4 down on his record. And let's talk about what Jaime Rangel, Chris, needs to do to win this fight as we look at the bird watch.
Well, Jaime Rangel needs to be determined. He knows Zab Judah is a great fighter. He got to go for it. This is his chance in the spotlight. And don't get frustrated. Zab Judah has a great hand speed, great foot movement. Try to win the fight.
And don't be intimidated. I think that's really a key because, as we said, Judah is a guy who wants to intimidate you early. So I think the early rounds are going to be increasingly important for Jaime Rangel.
Oh, yes, it is. I mean, this is a big chance for Jaime Rangel right now, fighting the great Zab Judah.
Tell me about this moment. What's this moment like? Now, you're the challenger. You come into the ring, and you got to cool your heels because the champion's going to take his sweet time getting there himself.
Well, you think about all the training you've done and just getting prepared mentally to face a great fighter like Zab Judah in front of a huge crowd.
Do you kind of fight the fight in your own mind before the fight? You suppose he knows exactly what he's going to do in this fight, or at least try to do?
You have to. It's the game plan is now, and he got to try to execute what he did in training and convert it to the boxing match.
Trained by Miguel Guzman and Daniel Diabla, and now he awaits the arrival of the champion, Zab Judah, and there is a look at Zab. 29 up, 1 down, 21 knockouts. He too is a guy who you know has the power to get you out of there. He's done it 21 times in his 29 victories. Comes from a fighting family. His father Yoel and his brothers all boxers. His dad was a 6-time kickboxing champion. And you ask Zab to this day, who's the best fighter in your family? He won't say I am. He'll say my dad is.
Slow down, slow it down, slow it down.
All right, let's talk about what Zab Judah has to do now as, again, we look at the bird watch.
Zab has to control the pace with his jabs and just control it throughout the whole fight. Throw combinations and use footwork. He's one of the fastest guys in boxing, and he can't get bored. One thing Zab Judah does do later in fights, he falls asleep because it's so easy for him.
Not sure it'll be quite so easy for him this time, although it is interesting, I think, my experience with fighters who come out of Colombia, they are either very, very good or very, very overrated, quite honestly.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what Rangel brings to the dance, and I think we'll probably see it early.
Yeah, you will see it early. 25 knockouts.
And we know he's got some pop. What we don't know is who did the 25 knockouts come against. Zab Judah clearly has been in there with some better opponents, and a much longer amateur record for Zab Judah. He had 115 amateur fights, only 18 for Rangel, and you learn basic skills as an amateur. I'm not telling you, I'm preaching to the choir here.
Yeah, with 150 fights, Zab's seen every style imaginable. And Rangel with 18 fights, you know, he's still learning on the job, basically.
Now, the other question, of course, he did break his hand against Chop Chop Corley, and he said, no, it's fine, it doesn't bother me at all, but that's another one of the things only time will tell. And I can't help but wonder, too, if that can't be somewhere in the back of his mind. Is my hand going to hold up?
Yeah, that's a concern for him. Breaking your hand in a fight and, you know, fighting a hard-headed guy like Rangel, it seems like hopefully he won't break his hand again.
So Zab Judah, who won the WBO championship back in July against Chop Chop Corley, it was a decision, and really Corley gave him a battle.
Yeah, he did give him a battle, but Zab fell asleep in that fight also. And he was controlling the fight really good early, but he seemed to fall asleep later on in the fight.
Yeah, he allowed Corley to kind of get back in the fight, and he's determined not to let that happen here against Jaime Rangel. And Rangel right now looks very calm, does not look tight, and that kind of sets the stage for our first fight for the WBO Junior Welterweight Championship. Let's meet him now with Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to get things started, please welcome from the 101st Airborne, Corporal Sheila Eccles.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the WBO Junior Welterweight Championship of the World.
This contest and all the bouts tonight are brought to you by Don King Productions in association with Caesars Atlantic City, Bally's Atlantic City, and sponsored by CMX Exchange. Sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Gerald Gormley. Supervising for the WBO is WBO President Francisco Barcarcel. The 3 judges at ringside for this contest will be Adelaide Bird, Raul Caiz, and Lynn Carter. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Frank Cappuccino. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds of boxing. This is for the WBO Junior Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trimmed with gold, his official weight, 140 pounds. His professional record, 29 victories, 4 defeats with 1 draw, and out of his 29 victories, he has 25 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger from Córdoba, Colombia, Jaime El Martillo Rangel. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red with silver, also weighing in officially at 140 pounds. His professional record, an outstanding one. 29 victories, including 21 KOs, with only 1 defeat. He is the pride of Brooklyn, New York, the 2-time world champion, reigning and defending WBO Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, Zab Super Judah.
Frank Cappuccino will be the referee in this first fight, a guy who's been around the track just a little bit. I think the beginning of this fight is going to tell quite a story, Chris, because I think it's going to be interesting to see how Judah gets out of the blocks. Normally a pretty quick starter. It's going to be interesting to see how Rangel handles that.
Yeah. The pressure's on Rangel.
All right, gentlemen.
Good evening, gentlemen. You're both given your instructions. Both is touch gloves. Touch gloves. Come on.
And a quick touch of the gloves and a long look from Frank Cappuccino. So Zab Judah, all business, has been all business all week here in Atlantic City. And he looks eager. He looks like he needs starting blocks here.
Keep that off the edge. Keep it off the edge. Keep the cameras off the edge.
Round one. That's a slip, I believe. I don't think that would be considered a knockdown. Oftentimes the painted part of the ring will get covered in perspiration and you'll see fighters slip.
It's a little backward for both fighters, both southpaws, and they, trying to get used to the style early. Zab Judah like he's going for the kill already, though.
Well, he said he wants to really establish himself early. And again, I think it's very important for Rangel to weather the first 2-3 rounds, get into the rhythm of the fight, and then see what he can do. Rangel has knocked out his last 3 opponents. There's no question as to the fact that he's got pop. It's just a question of the caliber of competition. And there goes Rangel from a sharp left hand. And I mean, he is down and may not make it. Well, the question's answered in 1 minute and 13 seconds.
Wow.
And there was no doubt about it.
Left hand right down the pipe.
Judah said he was going to come out there, take charge, get on the gas early, and he did. And they are enjoying it. There's another left hand right there. Well, I mean, that was no nonsense.
None. I mean, left hand right down the pipe. Southpaws fighting each other, both open for the left hand. Here's to next first.
So Judah's setting the tone. You heard him say he wants to make an impression. He wants to dominate. I would say he made an impression.
Yeah, he drew first blood tonight, and very impressive.
He drew first blood and last, and Rangel just now getting up and trying to figure out where he is, and even more importantly, what happened. Not a comfortable feeling, is it? You were talking about that dinner last night.
Not that quick. I mean, Rangel didn't get a chance to even get warmed up yet.
So Rangel will take it back to the drawing board. His first fight in America lasted just over 1 minute. Here it is.
Zab Judah sets him up with that left hand. Beautiful. Right down the pipe, right on the chin, and it's over.
And he was out before he hit the canvas. Rangel taking the full count from Cappuccino. Another look. Thing of beauty.
There. Oh, it was beautiful. Beautiful left hand. Perfectly thrown. Zab Judah is something special in this division.
So Zab Judah gets him out of there and gets him out of there right now. Let's see if the fight is longer than Michael Buffer's announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Frank Cappuccino counts to 10. And the 10 falls on the 1 minute and 12-second mark of the very first round. The winner by knockout victory, the pride of Brooklyn, New York, still WBO junior welterweight champion of the world, Zab Judah.
Well, I think super is probably the best way to describe him tonight.
He looked super tonight.
Went out there, answered all the questions. I guess his hand's fine.
Yeah, I don't think he injured his hand at all in this fight.
And Rangel, really, as you said, he really never got started. He never got himself into the fight at all. And right now, let's go up to the center of the ring. Wally Matthews is with the winner. Wally?
All right, we're just waiting for Zab Judah to accept all his congratulations and get his belt ripped. Okay. All right, Don. Thank you, Don.
I stole the show. I told you.
Thank you, Don. All right, if you blinked and missed it, Zab, you hit him with such a shot that you were up on, you were climbing the ring post before the count reached 2.
I felt it through my other arm. I hit him with a left, I felt it in the right hand. I knew it. It was over.
Now, this guy fought all his fights in Colombia. You must not have known a heck of a lot about him.
Nothing.
So what was your plan was just to come in and take him out as quickly as
My
you
plan was to
could?
come in there, work hard, and listen to my trainers. I had an excellent training camp. And I came and did what I do best, steal shows and dominate. You hear me? I told Big Don I was going to steal this thing, and I started it. I stole the press conference, and I stole the fight. I'm telling you.
All right, it happened so quickly, a lot of people couldn't see it. Let's take a look at the monitor. Let's take a look at the replay of it, and tell us what you saw. Come on, play color commentator.
He's out. He's out. Look, I told him, get off me. Get off me. Get off me. Look, oh, he felt hard, too. Look, straight left hand. Straight left hand. Look. Mira gata, bogata, gata, knockout.
That's not
the only way. Bang. Look at it. Look. He's out. He's out before he hit the ground. He's out.
So at that point, you head to the ring post, and you know it's all over.
I felt it. I felt it.
See it one more angle here.
I felt it. I felt it. Look, Jay-Z didn't see it.
He's trying to hold on to you for support there.
He missed it. He missed it.
So, Zab, what's your future at 140? How tough was it for you to make the weight this time?
You know, I mean, it was a little bit hard. You know, I'm getting older, and more with the time being off, you know, it's getting harder and harder. But now I got my man with me, and I'm going to be fighting on a regular again. So anybody in the way, I mean, you know what, I'm hoping, you know, and I'm gonna step my pride and ego to the side and hope and pray that Kasazu win this fight, and I hope that he give me the rematch. Big Don gonna make it happen. I'm gonna take him out this time.
Can you possibly leave this weight class without settling that score?
Yeah, because I mean, the world gonna know the reason why Zab Judah Kasazu didn't fight was because of him, not because of me.
All right, so how many more fights do you think you have left here before you move up to welterweight? Because there's a big boy waiting for you there in Mayorga.
Whatever, man. Listen, man. Me and Mayorga is good friends, and you know what I'm saying. In the future, if we so-called make it happen, I mean, it'll be for a lot of bucks, and I just make it happen, man. That's it, man.
All right, Zab Judah making it happen here tonight in a hurry against, what was your opponent's name again?
Jamie Rangel.
That's correct. Jaime Rangel. Let's go back to ringside and Barry Tompkins.
All right, thanks a lot, Wally, and an impressive victory. I have to ask you this.
For this particular one, what I did is I was swimming. I swim for about a half an hour, and I also run. I run in the beach, and I also run in the hills. But yes, I do some swimming, and I do it to help my muscles. Sometimes I do it a month before the fight, so I don't get too tied up in my arm muscles.